It's that time of the month again, yet this time things have changed. PlayStation Plus is now split into 3 tiers, and today it's all about the free games we get as PlayStation Plus Essential subscribers. That's going to take time to get used to. This tier now gives us at least 2 games a month, and this time there's 3, so let's do this. On the PS4 and PS5 is Crash Bandicoot It's About Time. The iconic platformer is back as we are sent to gather the quantum masks to prevent Neocortex from taking over the multiverse. Crash 4 mixes up the old formula by adding new mechanics, like wall running and rail skating, but it's the addition of other characters that really sets this one apart. Torna has a grapple hook for combat and grabbing boxes that are seemingly impossible to reach. Neocortex has a dash mechanic and a ray gun for battles. And the slow dingo dial has a vacuum to turn crates into weapons. Even with the addition of all these combat-related items, timing your jumps remains key to progression, and although the difficulty level is lower, there are flashback missions and mirror modes for those who like to experience crash punishment. The main reason the game feels more forgiving is thanks to one thing: there's a shadow under Crash. The days of guessing where your character is are gone. Reviewers mostly love Crash 4, with the average score 8 out of 10. Also on the PS4 is the Dark Pictures Man of Medan. I guess we'd class this as an interactive drama, as the story plays out before us and we impact that story by making key decisions. Man of Medan is made by the same team that brought us Until Dawn, yet this time it's much more serious than its predecessor. The greatest part of these games is that each decision has consequence, and 2 playthroughs of the same story can yield very different cutscenes and endings. I have to admit, the first 90 minutes of Man of Medan are cripplingly slow, but it does get better if you stick around long enough. There are many ways to unalive the heroes of the story, and there's lots of gore, so prepare yourself if you're a little squeamish. One of the most impressive parts, at least to me, is the online game mode. Jump in with a friend and take control of a character each and try to survive. Your paths cross constantly and your actions affect what they see. Do you team up and coordinate an attack, or completely ignore your teammates? The result can be hilarious. And it's much less scary when you play with a friend. Review scores are all over the place for the Dark Pictures series. 7 out of 10 was the most consistent I found for Man of Medan. And our third game for July is Arcadegeddon, a stylized multiplayer shooter set in third person. Our local arcade has made a super game, combining all the best games in the world into one, but it's been hacked and a virus is spreading inside. You can go alone or with up to 3 friends to jump in and save the day. The game is split into different biomes which are procedurally generated, so every time you do jump in, it should feel different. The plan for Arcadegeddon is to house different game modes over time, but at its core it's a PvE survival horde mode. We pick up missions from vendors and jump into the game to complete them, rinse and repeat. It's sorta like a roguelike. Every time you jump back in, everything you had on a previous run is totally gone. Over the last 12 months, new biomes, weapons and bosses have been added, as well as many PvP modes, for those who don't want to game against endless AI. Arguably, the PvP minigames are better than the core mode. IllFonic regularly updates the roadmap for Arcadegeddon, and more modes are coming on release. So the question is, will you try it? So that's our month. Those on PS Plus Extra, I'm trying to decide how to cover that content. Stray will be the first day and date release coming to that tier later this month. Depending on how regularly that tier is updated, I'll showcase new arrivals in another video. I'm Adam, you're awesome. I'll see you next time.